Terry, what are you doing?
I'm leaping.
Why are you leaping?
Because it's leap day!
That's right! New day starts now.
It's a new day. It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studio at King 5, this is New Day Northwest with Amity and Tracy.
Oh, hello, and welcome to this special edition of New Day Northwest, where we are obsessed with all things leap year and maybe some things that are a little leap adjacent. Well, I'll explain that in just a minute, but first, a preview of some of the adventures you can expect in the next hour. From two lords of leaping, Terry Holloman and I try our hand at the high jump, which is so much harder than it looks and maybe a little more humiliating, but a whole lot of fun. And then we are continuing this hoppy hour, hanging out with some kangaroos at a local farm, finding out if they in fact leap or hop. You be the judge, and apparently I'll do some leaping too. And then we're headed to the planetarium at UW to talk with an astronomer about the actual science of leap year and what it has to do with the Earth's rotation and what would happen without it. But first, we are starting the show with a zanier than usual Hot Topics. Oh yeah, standing off right here. My heart is just leaping with joy as I introduce my Hot Topics panel. Carla Marie and Anthony from the Morning Show podcast, and producer Susie.
Hello.
Like three of my favorite, well, four including myself, of my favorite people on the planet. So
Well,
thank you for being here on this leap day.
Anytime.
It's an extra day of the year.
So we showed up.
Well, we always feed you.
And I'm surprised you brought us back after my mishap last time.
What was your mishap?
When I opened the bag of candy and it flew all over the set.
All right, well, hold on. I'll open that
Yeah.
Thank you.
nice.
for you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate
there you
that.
go. So how's it been going? I mean, I know that, we have an extra day this month, this year. Being born on Leap Day, so rare. The odds of being born on Leap Day is 1 in 1,461. By comparison, 1.6 million can say they were born on March 1st. So you do the math.
Well, I didn't realize that if you're born on February 29th, some states make you legally put either February 28th or March 1st on your license. They won't let you put the 29th.
No kidding. I did not know that.
How sad is
seems
that?
wrong.
What state is that like?
I'm not
Alabama?
sure. Sure.
They like to boss
No
people
shade.
around.
No shade.
I think we should just make Leap Day a national holiday that no one, unless you work in like emergency services, no one's allowed to work.
It should be
Like
a
New
fun
Day would
day.
be off.
Right.
We would be off. We wouldn't do a morning show. No one's allowed to do anything.
It's
no
only every
sales.
4 years,
Nothing.
so-
I actually think
Exactly.
you are correct.
Yeah.
We should just be reveling in the amazing thing that is this earth.
Yeah.
It's
We'll call
only
it National Stay-at-Home Day or something.
Celebrate science.
Yeah,
Yes.
But we talked about the fact that why did they add it in February?
Right.
The worst month, right?
know.
It's so
Well,
depressing.
they could have added it in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or June, where it's nice. Like,
Right.
an extra day of July. What are we going to do?
I wish I was smart enough to have an answer
No,
for
I don't-
that.
but
I have no idea why they do
I have no
that.
answer.
We were thinking maybe because it's already short, so maybe tack one on. It's still too short.
That's true. I don't know a whole lot about the Georgian calendar, but I will say I wish it was part of another month.
Yeah. Me too.
Wendy's is, I had to get onto it because you opened this and now it smells so good.
Right, it does smell so
Celebrating Leap Day with a free Cinnabon.
Yeah.
I
So
can
they did
barely
like a-
continue the words because my mouth is
So
watering.
hungry.
They
Oh, my
did like
stomach.
a collab with Cinnabon, and so they have these, they call them pull-up arts.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I might forget about the fact that they were trying to overcharge us for burgers, but
Well,
Oh, yeah.
because this is really good.
I wonder if that's what they were trying to do because they got some really
Wait,
bad
can someone
PR.
tell me about this? Because I heard about the
Anthony's
surge
the
pricing,
expert.
but I need you to tell me more.
So basically, earlier this month, their CEO came out on an earnings call or a call with investors or something where he said, in 2025 at Wendy's owned stores, so not like the
Wendy's owned.
franchises,
Okay, so not a franchise. Wendy owns stores.
they
okay.
were going to try dynamic pricing, which would change the pricing on their digital screens based on the time of day and how busy they were. So like surge
Uber.
pricing. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah, like Uber.
Okay, or airlines.
Yeah, so surge pricing for burgers
Oh my
essentially. And the public backlash in just one day was insane.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That happened, that story came out on Tuesday. By Wednesday afternoon, they were already walking it back, saying, if anything,
How are
they'll
the
use
people?
the surge pricing to lower prices.
Oh,
allegedly.
baloney,
Right.
phony.
Yeah.
Don't
Sure.
you serve
Exactly.
We were talking about was, okay, well, if you're going to charge extra for food, are you going to pay your employees more because they're working harder during those busy times?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's true.
If
excellent
allegedly
point.
it's
You know
busier.
what?
Right.
Yeah, and I
I'm
heard
proud of that.
construction workers saying, "Hey, my buddies and I only get to take this break
Right.
at this hour, and suddenly we have to pay more
Yeah.
because we're being penalized because we only get our lunch hour at noon."
Well, it's also
So-
people generally eat at the same time every day, right?
Yeah.
So you know exactly when it's going to be busy. It's not like it's a special holiday where it got busier. We all eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner around the same 2-hour window
Except
every day.
the Wendy's in Ballard has a line down 15th
all the
hours of
time.
day.
I hate that
Crazy.
Wendy's. It's so hard. It's so. Or if you ever gone the back way where you come
Yeah,
down,
and then you gotta like
from
fight with
behind,
somebody. I was next, or was it you?
Was it next? Like what? Who's going?
The Wendy's in
Forget
Bellevue,
it.
they don't have a line, and they have these.
That's because
That's pretty
well,
good.
Thank you.
These are really good though.
They are good.
Actually, I
They're
will
good.
say I do love Wendy's. I will say they have the best Frosties, and I love to dip my fries in the Frosties.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying extra. You hear me?
You dip your
for my
fries in the
Frosty at noon.
I did learn a valuable lesson today though.
What?
If I ever need to apologize for a terrible
Cinnabon.
decision, just give someone a Cinnabon.
So wait, you
because like
can-
I really
is-
forgive them
it
already.
actually-
I
It's
do
a great
actually.
idea.
I agree.
So
I'm
this
not
is
against
free
fine.
at Wendy's today?
So if you order it on the app, you get one. So
Okay.
I
I'll take
only
one.
get the one, and then
You gotta buy the
three
rest of
were
them?
not
Thank you.
free.
Oh well,
Hopefully,
thank you.
but it's not surge pricing. By the way,
Right.
talking about pricing and a waste of money, have you guys heard about this Willy Wonka immersive
my God.
experience in
Amazing.
Glasgow, Scotland? Apparently, they promised a journey filled with delicious treats, enchanting adventures, and moments worth capturing. And it included elaborate candy illustrations. But this is exactly what they saw.
So they made the AI illustrations.
is that Willy?
That's Willy.
Stop it.
Yeah. I mean,
Willie O'Kirk.
Oh, that looks
the
terrible.
comments they said when they saw this, the modern Oompa Loompas looked like they were running a meth lab. I mean,
I'm sorry.
comments were
I am
amazing.
what? Oh, that does
What
look
are they
like a little bit like.
Okay. What?
I
Wait a
appreciate
minute.
the modern look, but yeah. So they thought they were coming because of AI they thought they were coming to this amazing, those immersive.
Look, okay,
look at that.
the folding table with the shots of vodka. What's going on
They
here?
couldn't get a
It's for children?
tablecloth?
What is that?
And it was in Scotland, and I think they charged about $40 a person. Kids were so excited. I mean, look at that.
$40.
They called the cops when they got there, people did.
I guess people were so upset.
That's what I read, is that people were so upset by the fraud and scam that they actually called police and said, we've been scammed. And so they have thus shut down now.
Yes, no,
Imagine
happening.
being-
You can't go there, bummer.
That cop.
Imagine being the dispatcher
Right.
that picks up the phone and they're like, 911, what's your
911.
emergency? I'm at the worst Willy Wonka experience I've ever seen in my life.
Willy Wonka scaring me. I
Send
mean,
help.
To be fair, it is very Willy Wonka of them to show up and have no idea where you're getting.
That's true.
That's true.
And to make children cry, because I think every Roald Dahl book,
Yes.
there is a component where children cry and are scared.
Are
but-
getting killed. It's lovely. But they used AI in the advertisements,
Yeah,
right?
so it
to
looked
make
way
it
better.
look amazing.
Which segues to our next topic,
Okay.
also
Oh, boy.
AI related, or great Photoshop. I don't know. Did you guys hear this fake rumor that the Disneyland castle
Cinderella's
burned
Castle.
down?
I did not
So
see
it was
this.
Mousetrap News, which I guess is a parody site.
They get me. They get
get
me
you?
all the
Every
time with their clickbaity fake headlines.
And they said it had burned to the ground. They
Oh.
showed all these pictures.
And this is okay. And Rebecca corrected me in my ear. It's Disney World, not Disneyland.
Okay.
To me, Disney World doesn't exist. Disneyland's the only real Disney. But
What?
I'm
yeah,
with
we'll
her
get
on
to
that.
on that later.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is crazy. And
It was fake.
And you know what's so funny is my husband actually messaged me because we have a Mouseketeer in the family, and he said, "Hey, did you talk to your Uncle Tommy? Did you hear about the
Oh, like a legit Mouseketeer.
Like a real
you're talking about.
Mouseketeer.
Okay, I was
Like-
thinking it was your husband that was
No, my husband is not the mouse. I'm not married to Justin Timberlake yet. So anyway,
There's still time.
still time. But yeah, no, it was crazy to hear that.
It was fake.
So this is the
And it was
problem, because I know OpenAI, the company that's behind ChatGPT, just released their video, like text-to-video software.
Oh,
So you can
jeez.
literally say, show me a burning castle, and it'll just create the video for
So
you.
terrifying.
And not that we were supposed to necessarily trust anything on the internet before,
Well, this is true.
but now
Right.
you can't trust a single thing you see.
And I know everybody says do the work, verify,
can't-
but how do
How?
you do that when
Yeah.
you have so many
Yeah.
sources that don't know what's going on?
And I try to tell this to my son all the time because he watches Pokemon videos all the time.
Same.
Okay, wait. I come upstairs the other day and he's tearing his Pokemon cards because he saw on some video that they were fake. I go, I bought got these from the Cardman store. They're not fake. So
he was
Listen to
testing
your
them to see
mother.
if they were
Right.
fake.
yes, we're going to talk about this later.
Listen to your
I'll talk
mother.
to
Hey,
your son.
you
I'll teach
guys,
him.
literally don't go anywhere because I want to tell you we have so much more fun this hour with another edition of Terry Tries It. And then this time, he convinced me to go along as we learn how to do the high jump from former Husky track stars. It was the most fun and humiliating experience of my life. And then the Hoppy Hour continues as I spend some time with a few wise guys looking for a neck rub. See the hoppy kangaroos and wallabies that call Fall City home. And then we're talking about the science of leap day. I'm chatting with an astronomer from the University of Washington about what happens if we didn't leap. Stay with us. Welcome back to New Day on this February 29th, also known as Leap Day. And you know, I've always been impressed by a human's ability to leap. Whether it's a ballet dancer's grand jeté or a basketball player slam dunking, humans can get some serious air. Well, let me rephrase that. Some humans can jump. This white girl, not so much. So when Terry Holloman invited me to come along with him and try high jumping with retired track and field athletes Norris Frederick and Drew Damberville, I took a leap of faith. Check it out.
Little known fact, Amity, I used to do track and field in high school.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, really, a little bit, but nothing like what we're going to do today.
Okay, what are we doing today?
We're going to learn how to leap for Leap Day. And I brought you to one of my favorite places, the University of Washington, the Dempsey Indoor Training Facility, and I invited a couple of my friends to teach us how to jump.
Okay, all right, let's meet
Ready
him.
to do this?
Yeah.
Right on, I got my friend Norris Frederick here, who is a 10-time All-American.
11, but who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting once you get to that number? And I got my friend Drew Damberville, who was a decathlete while I was here at University of Washington.
Hey, we have the most fun on the track.
We do. We're gonna have some fun
The
today.
athletes have the most fun on the track.
They do. They do.
Norris, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I graduated here in 2008. I was the 3rd best long jumper in the world and 7th best high jumper in the world. With a personal best in the high jump of 7 feet 5 inches and a personal best in the long jump of 27 feet 4 inches.
So I figure if we're gonna teach these guys how to jump, I might as well bring some fresh young legs because I'm old and we're not doing all that.
I'm excited. I've never leapt or leaped or jumped. So
Leapt or jumped.
yeah,
Okay.
y'all have your work cut out for you.
You guys think you can help us out, figure out how to jump today?
I think we can get you both over a bar today. I'm confident of that.
What about me though?
What about you?
I want to get over a bar today.
I feel like I tried that and recruited you out of high school. It didn't
Yeah.
work out that well.
I think it worked out okay. 11-time All-American. Let's get to it. You guys teach us how to jump. We're gonna do it for Leap Day. Dogs on 3.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, dogs!
So here,
Okay.
just following this train coming here. So you don't want to go in a straight line. You want to get to here and boom, so you're going to take off somewhere around here or so. The centrifugal force of you running this curve will put you in a position when you take off,
To move that way.
it'll drive you that way.
Physics. We got this. And curve.
And
You
curve.
gotta get
Okay.
the curve.
Curve, 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 curve.
There you go.
There we go.
I went butt first because that's where
So
most of my
trust the
gravity
process.
is.
I always say trust the process.
Trust the process.
Don't get nervous. No baby steps.
All right. Oh, you got Terry.
There we go.
Okay.
See? Norris, can you give him an idea of what that looks like? And this is when I Photoshop my face on his body.
Yes, I
Okay,
like this.
there we go. Well, run the curve, and he jumps through. And he catches his leg, and he goes. See what I mean?
Makes it look
Okay.
so effortless.
The reason we work on the approach first, the approach is the most important part of your game. Now we gotta teach you how to go over a bar and what it feels like to go over a bar.
Well, that's
All right. This is gonna be a blast.
So, this is a little springy, as you see, right? Haven't done this in a long time. What we're gonna do is jump up and over and
Okay.
learn how to. Good thing is you're on a bungee.
Further. There you go.
No.
Now show them what it's supposed to look like.
I just said no.
So,
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah.
so that's what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
So hop on up. Good thing is if you just fall back, you just fall back.
Okay.
So the goal is jump as high as you can first.
Okay, ready?
Don't try and lean back, just jump up. Yep.
Oh, he didn't
There
listen.
we
Look
go.
at that fancy pants.
There we go. That was ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
Don't hurt
ooh.
him. Don't hurt him, Terry. I love it.
Now, do you bounce on the balls of your feet or?
Just whatever's comfortable for
Okay.
you.
There you go.
You had it. You got it. And what this teaches us is the body mechanics. When you're at a high height, you get to where you're arching like this, and then when you want your feet to come over, you bring your chin down. By bringing your chin down, your butt automatically comes down.
Does this make my butt look small?
It's something.
Come on, Terry.
You got this, Terry. There we go. Bingo! High jump. He's over the bar.
I tucked my chin.
Tuck the shin. Bingo. Over the bar.
You guys don't understand. I'm an earth sign, so I'm very grounded to this terrestrial plane. I don't think I'm meant to jump.
I love that for you.
Yeah?
Except right now,
No.
we're jumping. Okay. Biggest thing?
Yeah.
Don't think, just do.
Don't think, just do.
Don't
Okay.
think, just do.
gonna
Just go. I
He
should be
was
a
right.
coach.
Don't
You
think,
know what
just
I'm saying?
do. I'm always better when I'm not thinking.
We just taught you your approach, how to work over a bar, and how to work what we call our penultimate step, right? Which
Yeah.
is work that curve and drive up to clear a ball. You are a high jumper.
All right.
I love it.
Nice.
I am not, I can't even, that was the most I can't.
What?
Humiliating
Yeah,
thing I've ever done.
you got over the bar. You look good.
Wait, we only showed the one time I made it over the bar.
Well, that's the magic of TV. We get to say
Y'all-
she did it, right?
So how did we feel afterwards?
That's the question. So I tell everybody this body is meant for show and not for go. So it looks like I'm an athlete, but I was hurting for days.
You were, I had iced my back later that night when I got home. But I actually, here's what I did. I tried to do yoga that morning to limber up, and then I
Right.
think I hurt myself in yoga. And then,
That's what you get. You try to do too much. You should have planned accordingly.
you do
Say,
too much.
I'm going to do one athletic thing today and take the yoga out of the equation.
Okay, wait. I love Drew and Norris. Like, those guys are the best dudes ever. How do you
They
know
were good.
them?
So, of course, I went to school with Drew at the University of Washington. He was a track athlete while I was playing football there. And Norris, I met through Drew and through just our whole circle of UW athlete friends. And so that guy is very accomplished. Like I said, 11-time All-American.
11. Don't
Yeah.
get it twisted.
yeah.
Hey, listen. I asked if I could see a picture of Terry and because he said he ran track. Oh,
Ooh, look at that. I had hair.
Is that a fade?
and
I can't see from
everything.
here.
Look at that. Yeah, I had a fade.
Oh,
I had a fade and a part.
snap.
And of course, in high school, I had a mustache and a beard. I
Oh
was
my
there,
God.
Right? Yeah, that was me in my track and field days.
That was amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for inviting me. I
I'm
was
glad you came.
really outside my comfort zone, but had a blast. I felt safe. Those guys were awesome.
Yeah, and you've grown, and now you can say you have high jumped.
I'm pretty much an athlete.
Cheers.
What can I say? All right, well, coming up next, we are leaping into a wild adventure in Fall City, visiting a kangaroo and wallaby farm. And I kissed a kangaroo. Stay with us. Welcome back to our New Day Leap Year special, where we are celebrating all things leap year, including some things you might consider leap adjacent, like really adjacent. So one of my producers, Susie, decided that we couldn't have a leap year special without some leaping kangaroos. But do kangaroos leap or do they hop? Well, we found out when we went to the Fall City Wallaby Ranch, where they've spent 22 years caring for and breeding kangaroos and wallabies, and they are definitely the local experts. Oh my gosh, you're so fluffy. You're so fluffy. Oh my gosh, that is so soft. Obviously, you do this for the love of kangaroos. What made you decide that you wanted to be a part of kangaroos' lives every day and create this space for education?
You know, honestly, it was the joy that we saw people get from just seeing our babies, from touching them, boy, you put a little albino baby into the lap of a lady in a wheelchair in a senior center and see her break into tears. You might want to do this a lot. This is Jasmina, baby ballerina. Yeah, her 3 years old. And this is Mama Juno. This is the National Geographic star. Her's almost 19 years old.
Can I ask you a question that may seem silly? What is the difference between a kangaroo and a wallaby?
Wallabies are the animals that grow up to 44 pounds, and the kangaroos are the species that are larger.
Okay.
You will also hear the term wallaroo. Wallaroo is not a mix of wallaby and kangaroo. A wallaroo is a small species of kangaroo. So there are wallabies, wallaroos, and kangaroos.
Wallabies,
the
wallaroo,
way it is.
kangaroo.
However, there are 58 species of kangaroo in the world. Everything from the little rat kangaroo up to the 220-pound red kangaroo. JJ, Juno, Jasmine, these are all red kangaroos. These are the biggest in the world.
How big is JJ gonna get?
His dad was 7'2".
Wow, he's already as tall as me. And I understand that you are world class, known for how you take care of them, how you document them. You did it for your own interest in the development of a kangaroo. For 7 months, you and your wife, every other day, documented the life and development of a baby kangaroo in its mother's pouch. What made you want to do that?
National Geographic called and asked if we would do it for them. They saw our material published in books in Australia and contacted the author and called one day and asked if we would help them make a movie.
And when Nat Geo calls,
You help them make a movie.
you help them make a movie for everyone to enjoy. This is my first time ever meeting a kangaroo or a wallaby up close. I had no idea the personality they have.
They're incredible animals. The red kangaroos are a companion animal like nothing else in the world. So yeah, you know, they're tearjerkers. They're incredible companion animals. Loving.
Sassy, too.
and sassy. Troublemaker.
He's trouble.
He's all kinds of trouble.
He likes to hop. Wait, I have a question though. Do kangaroos hop or do they leap, since this is our leap
Yes.
year special? Do they do both? The answer was yes. They do both. You heard it
Yeah,
here,
they are.
folks.
They do a lot of leaping. If they're in a hurry in particular, Vinny's gonna give you the boot.
Vinny, I got my eye on you.
You gotta watch Vinny.
I gotta get my eye on you, Vinny. It's always a Vinny. Yeah, he had words for sure. No, he was so cute. It was such a delight and a really cool learning experience at the Falls City Wallaby Ranch. So thanks to them and to Rex for letting us come down and check it all out. And consider making a group reservation and spending time with Vinny and the rest of them, Junie, Jay, and JJ and the others. So go check it out. Well, when we come back, we are toasting to the last 4 years as we look ahead to the next 4. And then I head to the planetarium at UW to ask an astronomer about the science behind Leap Day. Stay with us.
This is New Day Northwest.
And welcome back to our special episode of New Day celebrating leap year. And right now we are going to toast to 2024's extra day with a special cocktail we made in honor of this occasion. We're calling it the 7-Up Lift. 7-Up Lift, get it? And executive producer Joseph Suttner joins me now to show us how it's made and also give us a cheers to the last 4 years and a look ahead to the next.
Yeah. We were looking on the internet for like fun food or drink things to do that involve the number 4 for today, because 4 years, obviously.
Yeah.
So we found this drink, so I'll like make them for us. But
so
yeah.
it's 4 ingredients,
Yeah,
is
it's
what you're
just-
saying. So that's why it makes it a special leap year
Yeah,
drink.
it's grenadine, vodka, orange juice, and 7-Up.
And I see that we splurged on the vodka today with the Smirnoff.
We went top shelf, y'all.
That's a plastic bottle.
But yeah, you put the grenadine in first and then layer it on top, so it makes it kind of like a sunrise, sort of.
Oh.
And we're a new day here, right?
Yeah,
So,
we're a new day.
an extra new day in this year. But anyways, how have you felt over the last 4 years? I mean, like,
You know, when you said to me, when you proposed doing this chat, and you're
Yeah.
like, you know, it's almost been 4 years since you've been here. Well,
Can you
not
believe-
quite. It's
Well,
been 3.
we're getting close.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I was like, what?
time flies, man.
Time flies when you're having fun. But it's been great. I mean, it's been so much fun being part of this show, making it our own and changing
changing
things.
it,
And
yeah.
I'll tell you, making cocktails at 11 o'clock in the morning is never bad either.
You know, whatever.
But no, it's been a great ride. And I'm excited for the next 4 years. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we just keep expanding the things we do. We're,
The show just keeps getting more fun, and
yeah, we're taking the show on the road pretty soon here.
Oh yeah, we are. That's gonna be a big deal.
I'm not going to tell you where, but it's a place you love to go and shop. There's your hint.
There you go. All right. How about that?
All right, that's beautiful.
Oh, cheers,
All
Amity.
right, sure. So you see, like, if you can see, there's like little layers. It does look like a little sunrise, where there's like the red and the orange. It's very
Oh,
pretty.
it's kind of like a screwdriver, you know? But yeah, I mean, think about 4 years ago where we were, all just COVID starting. Imagine if we knew then what we know now about how much our lives would change. It's
You know,
it's kind of bonkers to think about, I think,
if
personally.
we
but-
knew then, hindsight is 2020,
Yes.
and it is bonkers to think about that. But I also hope that what we all did learn from what happened over the last 4 years really helps us move forward into the future a little bit more educated, a little bit more compassionate,
thoughtful about our neighbors, all that
thoughtful,
stuff.
and realize, like, I mean, we're still coming out of this. There's still some PTSD, but you know what? Let's please take this moment to think about.
And cheers to 4 more years ahead. It's going to be.
Here's to 4 more years.
Who knows what's going to happen?
You never know, especially here. All right. Well, one more thing. Save this recipe and then serve it up in 4 years. All right, and then let us know. Okay. Well, all this talk about Leap Day has us wondering, why exactly do we have Leap Day? And how did mankind figure out that we needed it in the first place? On my quest to find answers, I traveled to the UW Planetarium. While there, I chatted with my astronomer friend who also wrote a book called The Last Stargazers, Emily Levesque. So here we are in the beautiful planetarium staring at the night sky because it turns out leap year does have to do with celestial events. So why do we have leap year? Because, I mean, it almost seems pointless to add an extra day to give people, I don't know, special anniversaries and birthdays. But there's importance behind this.
Yeah, so the leap year comes from how we define a year. We are used to thinking of a year as 365 days long. And a year is supposed to be how long it takes the Earth to go around the sun once.
Okay.
And 365 days is almost right. It takes the Earth just a little bit longer to make that trip. It takes us 365 and 1/4 days to make the loop. So we need to add a little extra time to the year to kind of make up for that difference. And it would be a little weird to add a quarter year every year. Nobody wants to make plans like, I'll see you next Thursday and a half.
Right, that's a good point.
The easiest way to do it is to just add 1 day every 4 years.
So if we didn't add the extra day, would it impact all aspects of our lives?
Yeah, it would make a surprising difference. If we didn't add that extra day every 4 years, if we just made every year 365 days long, we'd start every year about 6 hours earlier than the one before. And 6 hours doesn't sound like a lot, but we've been doing this leap year thing for over 2,000 years. If we hadn't done that, if we just stuck with the 365 days the whole time, our calendars would right now be telling us that we're somewhere in late July. And we'd already be halfway through the year 2025. So all the seasons would shift, all our holidays, all our sort of senses of what temperature it's supposed to be in what month would all have changed over time because we didn't add that extra day.
Incredible. And that would affect how we plan things, how we do farming, all the things.
Everything, yep.
All right, so I understand, like you mentioned, it was about 2,000 plus years ago, like early era, 46 BC. So how did people in like the ancient olden days realize they needed to do this? How were they keeping time?
It's a great question. So that 46 BC that you mentioned is when Julius Caesar officially announced, all right, we're adding a day every February, every 4 years. But for centuries before that, people all over the world had been sort of refining and perfecting what they called a year. And some of it came from what I just described. People would make up a calendar and then they would notice that seasons were drifting, that farming timing was getting a little different, and they would tweak or adjust to make the year length match more what they were seeing around them. So some cultures add a day, some add a month, some do a mix of these things, and a lot of it had just been from noticing how that time drifted. We eventually got pretty good at measuring how long a year was, and it was by looking at how the sun actually moves in the sky. If you were to go out and mark on a chart of the sky exactly where the sun sits at noon every day for a whole year, it would trace out this nice little figure 8. And that shape comes from the Earth's orbit around the sun and how the sun appears to move to us. So the sun will go back to exactly the same spot in that figure 8 once exactly a year has passed. And that's how we got to that 365 and about a quarter.
That's pretty fascinating. Oh my gosh. All right, so Earth's been around for like, what, 4.65-ish billion years? Is it ever gonna go faster or slower? Are we gonna ever have to adjust the amount of days? Like instead of 1 leap day, we might have 2?
So we've done a few adjustments to the leap year approach already, and right now we're doing pretty well. We lose a little over a day about every 8,000 years right now, so we've got some time. But there are other little quirks here. Something we've been sort of ignoring while we talk is I've said, well, we change how long a year is and how long we think of a year, and I say, oh, it's 365 and a quarter days. But we haven't talked about how long a day is. And a day is how long it takes the Earth to complete one spin, to rotate once. And that will change a little bit. This can depend on everything from the sort of tug of war we have with the moon because of gravity. It could depend on things like melting glaciers or big earthquakes. And the Earth's rotation will change just a teensy bit. People might remember that we had a leap second about 8 years ago at the end of 2016. And that leap second got added occasionally to make up for these little wiggles in the Earth's rotation, but that's a lot more chaotic and unpredictable, so the leap seconds aren't that nice regular every 4 years tick like we have with leap years.
That's fascinating. I mean, I could really do with an extra hour in the day. I mean, I think everyone could. That's really fascinating, but I don't want the big volcanoes, earthquakes, or, planet-altering effects.
No.
So let's just stick with what we got. All this talk about how in ancient times they really had to pay attention to these things makes me think of, how did people handle these celestial events back in the day? Like with an eclipse, let's say. I mean, they must have thought the world was ending.
Eclipses are really surprising if you don't know what's coming. And what's amazing is that because of observations like what we've just talked about, getting really good at understanding how the Earth goes around the sun or how the moon goes around the Earth, we can now predict total solar eclipses very accurately. So we don't suddenly have the sky changing and the sun seemingly going dark.
Yeah.
We can plan ahead and plan great trips to enjoy an eclipse.
There's coming up an eclipse, right, in Ohio?
There's an eclipse coming up on April 8th. And here in Seattle, we'll be able to see a little bit of it. On April 8th at about 11:30, if you go out with safe eclipse goggles or other viewing equipment, you'll see it looks like a little bite will have been taken out of the sun. It's about 30% covered. But if you go out to, like you said, Ohio or Southwest Texas or northern New York, you'll be able to see a total solar eclipse, which is just amazing. It's absolutely worth the trip.
Right? How cool. It is always so much fun talking to Emily. And after the break, someone else who's always fun to talk to, Mama Gone Geek's Lynn Brunel is back with some Leap Day science fun, and you never know what's going to happen when you put the two of us together, so stay with us. Welcome back to New Day Northwest on our special edition of Leap Day fun. Now, I'm a girl who loves science, so when we decided to do a whole show about Leap Day, I knew I had to invite another science lover. Mama Gone Geek author Lynn Brunel is back with some cool Leap Day experiences, or just science experience overall, that are Leap adjacent.
Adjacent.
I'm excited to see what you've got here today. What did you bring?
All right, so yes, Leap adjacent for sure. I mean, I love to have easy ways in the house to explain to kids what things are. So what leap year is, so I colored a golf ball like the Earth.
You made a little Earth.
Little Earth.
I like it.
And here's my sun. And, we know that the Earth rotates around the sun, but it's also tilted, and that's why we have the seasons, right? And so we also just learned earlier, too, that it doesn't take 365 days to do this trip. It does 365.25 days.
0.25.
And so that's why we have leap year every 4 years, because it adds up to a day.
Just a couple of balls that'll help explain it. Then my kids would grab it and throw it at me, but that's fine.
Exactly, and that's part of the fun, too. So the other thing to do is it's actually kind of cool, because you can actually see the shadows change and make your own sundial. And you can make them out of a takeout cup. You put a straw in at a 45-degree angle in that.
Okay.
You can see down here little marks. And then you put it in the sun. I like to do it point north, set it up so you know that it's whatever time it is, noon, whatever, and then you watch every 15 minutes and you make a mark where the shadow lands. Then you can just take this anywhere, line it up north to south, and you'll be able to have a clock.
And you have your own clock, and then you can mark the passing of time without a watch.
And you
That's amazing.
And you can actually show the kids too that it's this. We're moving, and that's why the sun's shadows are different. You can do the same thing at a picnic with a bun on a
piece
paper
of
plate,
bread.
right? You just want to make a 45-degree angle, and you do the same thing. You set it up north, south, and then you make your marks.
That's phenomenal. How fun is that? I'm going to just do that at a picnic next time, see what everything says. All right, what is this can doing
Oh
here?
my gosh, the cans, this is really fun. This is really nothing to do with leap year, except for you can make the can leap.
Okay.
So I want you to try this.
All
I'm going
right.
to have you blow down, and this is just a regular can.
Okay, an empty cup.
An empty cup.
Okay, and just blow?
Just blow down.
That's so fun.
The fun thing to do too is with kids is like you can just see if you can get them to get it in the other.
Oh, we are so doing this at my house later. That is for sure.
You got to make sure the opening is down or else it won't work.
Okay. And that's happening because you're actually infusing air into the cup, which is going inside and creating
the air
lift,
pressure.
right?
Yep. Taking the air pressure out. Yep. So that's leapy.
Okay.
Now, another fun leapy thing to do are leaping frogs. And so what's more fun than leaping origami frogs,
Oh, these are
right?
so cute.
And you can do the complicated origami where you, whoops, you can fold it, and it's so many steps. I'm not going to go through it but you can use origami paper and do regular, or you can do cheat origami, which actually makes frogs that I think are
Really
super
bouncy?
jumper.
Ooh.
Right, and that's with a business card. So
okay.
here, I'll show you. Grab a business card,
Okay.
and you fold it down to make an angle. So you fold the top side down so that it goes right like that.
Okay.
Right. And then you come back and you go across the other side. So you're making the frog face.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Just like
See,
that.
I feel
so
you.
it's just pretty easy.
This is pretty simple.
Yep. And then you got to make your springboard.
Okay.
Your legs. So you fold towards. Yeah, towards. And then back.
Towards.
And then towards. And you got to
you're making like a little fan.
Yes.
Like when we used to make fans
And
in
then you
school.
have to have the final piece with the opening towards you because that's your spring.
Well, I think I...
Oh,
I did it!
Yep. And then these, this is fun to do. Like, I did this in the doctor's office when you're waiting and you're just like, or lines, and then you can make lily pads and play a game and see if you can get onto actual lily pads and get points.
People are going to start finding my business card everywhere.
Which is another thing, right?
And I'm just like, what is this?
Leaps into their dish. You can do these other ones too with toilet paper rolls. What's more fun, right? So you just get a piece of the toilet paper roll and you cut.
Okay.
You cut these lines, you fold the legs, and then you cut the shape, right?
Okay.
And then you've got this cool little frog, and then this guy can bounce too.
Oh, look at that.
And then this
is really easy.
Kinetic energy, basically. You're sort of using potential energy in the pressing down, and then kinetic, which is the moving energy after you release it.
Phenomenal. What a great lesson on kinetic energy.
Yeah.
I like this lesson as well. What are we doing here?
So this is static electricity, but I call this leaping lizards. I've cut tiny lizards out of tissue paper. If you can't tell what they are,
They're lizards. This is clearly a lizard, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that guy.
And you can use a balloon, but I'm saying balloons are hard to find these days, and so a comb will work too, and a chunk of plastic. So you take the comb, you comb your hair very, very energetically, and you're building up electrons, right? And then you can go right over here and see them jump.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool, Lynn.
Yes. And you can do the same with a hunk of plastic. You just
rub it on your...
And then you just bring it over. And
wow. You have so many fun ideas in the books that you have already published on all these things, but I want to talk about, you've got 3 new books coming out this year.
I do. I have 3 new books, and they're not experimental books, so to speak, but they are scientific.
They're fiction, though, yes?
Yeah, this one is fiction. This one is nonfiction.
Okay.
So this one is coming out in March. It's called Haiku Ew, and it's haiku that celebrates the gross, disgusting side of nature.
Oh, I love it.
It's fun for kids, and then you've got that little hook because the gross things are actually really interesting.
Yes.
Like, for example, on the cover, the lobster. Did you know that lobsters pee out of their eyes?
That I did not know, Lynn, and this is why this is news you can all use. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, Lynn, I cannot wait. We're going to have you back on to talk about these books because we didn't get a chance to really get into it. So please, hopefully we'll have you back on again soon.
I love that.
Thank you so much. And actually, I asked Lynn to stick around because up next, we've invited some friends over for some friendly competition, a little round of trivia, Leap Edition. Be right back.
This is New Day Northwest.
Welcome back to the show. I don't know about you, but I feel pretty educated about Leap Day at this point in the show. But you know, there's always more to learn, so why not have a little fun while you're at it? So New Day Academy is in session for a bit of leap year trivia. My fellow students, Mama Gone Geek and science writer Lynn Brunell, and our own Terry Holloman. But of course, we needed a teacher to administer this test, so of course we thought of historian Felix Bunnell. So, Felix, tell me about some of the questions you're going to be asking us.
Well, it's Leap Day, of course.
Yes.
And we're in a leap year. So these questions are sort of about leap year, leap day, but also are leap year, leap day adjacent. They might be related to the number 4. That's about all I really want to say.
This is a broad spectrum.
Yeah, I
is
wanted
what
it
you're
to be
saying.
fun, I wanted it to be educational, I wanted it to be, chance to compete and see who knows the most, who's the
Okay.
smartest. So
Who's the smartest? No pressure.
None at all.
I have about 75 questions. I think we'll be able to get through all of them in the next
like
90 minutes or so.
70?
It'll be really fun, yeah.
Oh my God.
And if we don't know the answer, the answer is 4.
So we have some terrific prizes. We have a little stuffed frog, and we have some gummy frogs. Because what do frogs do?
They
Okay, see, that's how easy this quiz is going to be. Look at that. Wonderful.
All right.
All right, we're going to go starting next to me. We're going to start with Lynn. Your first question is, here we go. Both the Summer and Winter Olympic Games were previously held during leap year, but nowadays this is only true of the Summer Olympics. However, in Summer Olympics history, the most recent games were delayed by a year. Why were they delayed and where were they held?
COVID. And they were held, good question.
Anybody?
Japan?
Correct. That's good. So 1 point scored.
I was going to say it happened on the internet.
Yeah, my
I don't know where it
Japanese
happened.
American husband will be happy I got that.
Very nice. All right, so you get the idea what we're doing here?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
very good.
feel you,
Okay,
we feel you.
It's important to buy the premise before we get into this.
I feel
All
like
right.
it's one of the word problems in my kids' math program plans, so I'm just going to really listen.
All right,
Math
Amity,
homework.
here's your question. Fill in the blank. In 46 BC, Roman dictator Julius Blank first mandated adding leap years to the calendar.
Caesar?
That's correct.
How many Juliuses are out there?
Well,
Like,
there's-
Orange Julius and Julius Caesar. Like, which one are you going to pick?
And
Et tu, Brute?
And I don't think 46 BC was actually a leap year, which is kind of odd. All right. All right. So, Terry, this question's for you. What is a simple explanation for why there must be an additional day added to the calendar every 4 years?
Were you listening?
No. I was not listening. At no point through kindergarten through 12. I'm going to say it's because of daylight savings.
That's not correct. I'm sorry. No, we're not going to have a steal. Basic premise is the calendar year is 365 days, but the actual length is more like 365 and a quarter days. So every 4 years you have to add a full day, so we don't end up celebrating, Halloween in July, for instance. Okay.
So everybody out there knew that, right? I'm sure you guys
I
knew
mean,
that.
we were watching the show, you know.
We're talking
I don't know what
about
you
it.
were doing backstage.
Sneaking into the gummy frogs.
Licking them all?
Yeah.
All right, Lynn, this next question's for you. Which of these celebrities was born on Leap Day? Rapper Ja Rule, motivational speaker Tony Robbins, actor Dennis Farina, or singer Dinah Shore?
Lordy days, I would only have to guess at that. I would say the rapper.
That is correct. We would have accepted any of those because they were all born on Leap Day.
I was like,
Cheating question.
I lose.
I deduced that it was all of the above.
Oh, you are.
All right, Amity.
This is
Amity, now kind of a sad question.
Oh, sad.
Which member of 60s pop group The Monkees died on Leap Day 2012? Was it Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones, Mike Nesmith, or Peter Tork?
Can I just sing the theme song and get a point?
No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry.
All right. Wait. I was Mickey Dolenz. Davy Jones. Mickey.
What's your guess?
Mickey.
She put
I'm
them
sorry,
together.
that's not
David
correct. And in
Mick.
fact, Mickey Dolenz is the only monkey who's still alive.
Sorry, Mickey.
Maybe can we confirm with the King 5 newsroom that Mickey Dolenz is in fact still alive? All right.
make a call.
Yeah, so it was Davy Jones who sadly passed on this day in 2012.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, no point for you. All right.
Got that clear. He's
point
making
for
that
you, Terry.
clear.
I mean, that's not.
Terry, here's your question.
Zero.
Which of these years did not include a leap day? 2000, 1940, 1920, or 1900?
You're just gonna have to throw a dart at that.
Why am I giving you the really difficult one? I don't know.
Because
Somehow
you
it's
pick
like
on me, Felix.
something.
I don't know why you do this
These are
to me
being
all
randomly.
the time.
These are being randomly assigned.
1900. I don't know.
I think you're
That's
right.
correct.
That's
Because you know
right.
what's weird is the rule is that if the year is divisible by 100 and not divisible by 400, there's no leap year that year. So there's no leap year in 1700, 1800, or 1900.
You obviously knew that.
I knew
About
that.
the divisibility.
I did the
Doing the
square root and
calculations,
the
I can see
quotient
it.
of the calendar and
Right,
what's the equilateral of the
Yeah,
circumference.
and daylight savings had nothing to do with that either. Okay. All right, so we're back to Lynn now. Let's check our points here. Let's see. I think we have Lynn. You have 2. Amity has 1, and Terry has 1. Judges, if you can concur, that I
That
have the
means I'm
correct.
ahead.
By a little bit.
Just
The narrowest of margins.
Now, Lynn, in the movie based on the series of dystopian novels, which begin with a book and film called Divergent, what British actor plays the character named Four?
Oh my God. He was the one
It's
in.
not Mickey Dolenz, okay?
It's
So
not
don't
Mickey
guess that.
Dolenz.
He's not even British.
Not Davy
But he
Jones.
was
It's
in,
not David Jones
Davy
either.
Jones is British, though.
He
Or
was in Love
British,
Actually,
sorry.
right? He was the little boy in Love Actually, right?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
I have no idea.
Theo James.
I would not
Nobody
have
knows
known
who
that.
that guy
I
is.
know.
Yeah,
He was a little boy in Lebec. No.
Wait, was that a leap year movie? I don't recall that.
Isn't there an area, a town in the Divergent series called Amity too?
Oh, Amityville.
Not Amityville, not that
This
one.
is getting too far tangential
All right,
for
we
my
probably only
taste.
have
All
time
right.
for 2 more questions, and Terry and I need a chance
Okay,
to tie it up.
all right, here we go. Amity, in the movie based on, no, I already did that one. Okay. Fill in the blank. Leap Day 2024 accounts for a highly disproportionate 37% of the confirmed number of weekday blanks that are taking place this week.
Marriages?
That's correct. Wow, very good.
So you only get to celebrate your anniversary every 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
well,
perfect.
you know what,
You guys
that's
are
fine.
geniuses.
All right.
All right, Terry, if you're a salaried employee, that is, you're not paid by the hour, approximately what percentage of your annual salary are you donating back to your employer by working for free on Leap Day?
Percentage-wise?
What percentage?
salary.
Approximately what percentage?
I'm leaving
2%.
after this.
I'm going to give it to you. It's actually 0.4%, but that's close enough. And by my math, if you work in radio, it means you're giving up about $25.
See?
Yep.
For 60 seconds.
All
Okay.
right, work only.
We're tied.
Thank you.
Hey,
We're all
we're all tied. We
We
get
are
to
all
split
winners.
frogs.
Yay, frogs for you.
Split the frogs.
All right, thank you so much for spending time with us for this very special episode. You can check our website for more of our content. You can always send us an email to share your thoughts. But most important, get out there and enjoy your new Leap Day. And we'll see you next time.
Remember to visit your local shelter to adopt a game show host today.
Some segments of New Day Northwest are paid for by these fine sponsors.